HP1 and my podcast Blockbusted are both sponsored by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/blockbusted for a free audiobook of your choice today. Movies, comics, TV shows, other stuff. Blockbusted. Okay, hold on. Can we do that tape again? That was terrible. Yeah. Can we start over? What's up, guys? Blockbusted back here again today, where we're live from both of us in unusual. Oh yeah, we're not live.
Yeah.
Frick, should we redo it?
Nah.
Maybe we should redo the intro. We are not live from new locations. I am in an office space right now at my dad's office in a room with a big rug, which I figured might be good for acoustics. We'll have to see in editing. And Drew, you're in
my good old trusty closet.
Yeah. You know, some might say
blankets.
That Hitchcock never came out of the closet.
Lols.
Which he may need to do. Yeah, that joke was old about 6 months ago.
Oh, gosh.
Should we redo this entire intro? This is getting garbage. That's what I think. That is what I think.
Everything we do is garbage.
You know what?
It's really inevitable.
You gotta live with your demons in life. That's what I say. That's what I say.
Okay.
Now, Hitchcock, speaking of demons...
Life lessons from Houston Coley.
Yes. Speaking of demons...
How is there a segue for demons?
Speaking of demons...
Oh, no.
Scott Derrickson, who has directed many movies about demons, in that he is a horror movie director, is the director of Doctor Strange. Now, what I found out yesterday is that not only is Scott Derrickson a Christian, and he makes horror movies, apparently. Yeah. He's got a philosophy on that, apparently. He says something about, bad people in horror movies always have their end at the hands of evil or something, whatever. So, philosophy on that. But, so, my dad is also a Christian filmmaker. He knows him. He knows the director of Doctor Strange. So, yeah, that's... Maybe we'll get Scott Derrickson on for a Blockbusted Q&A with Benedict Cumberbatch. Maybe that's
wouldn't that be fantastic?
Oh, it'd be great.
That would be.
Let's
do it.
Yeah. Speaking of Marvel, Hitchcock, Steve Rogers, so the Russo brothers, who directed Civil War, have been touring for the Blu-ray, just doing their rounds of interviews,
Cool.
And so we've had some questions answered. They've talked about Infinity War a bit. And they did confirm, as we speculated back in May, that Cap has, at least for the time being, given up the mantle of Captain America in the Marvel Universe. So that's cool, right?
That's cool stuff. Hopefully
I don't know why it's
Cap,
cool, but it's cool.
It is. It's cool. It's cool to see a hero step
I want to see, like, a vigilante justice Cap. Like, he's just wearing, like, a jacket, and he's got, like... I don't know.
Shorts and sweatshirt.
Yeah. Just raw fists. That's all he needs now.
Got the baseball cap.
That'd be pretty good. Cap always looks cool when he's in disguise.
He does. He looks
now,
bit out of place, though.
Speaking of... I'm trying to find a segue here. Speaking of... things... that are America, but this isn't America. This is actually France.
Okay. that was amazing.
Yeah,
wow.
Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
Which is set in France. Has now got some set photos released of Lumiere and Cogsworth in their live action form.
You got the little lamp candle thing, and then you got the clock. It's pretty good.
Didn't we say that? Who's doing them? Oh, so it's Ian McKellen is Cogsworth.
There you go.
Great fit. And I think it was Ewan McGregor is doing.
Nice.
So it's Ewan McGregor and Ian McKellen.
There you go.
Ian. And they look pretty good, though, right? I mean,
they do. Yeah.
I am so pumped for this Beauty and the Beast movie. I've heard some people say, and when I say some people, I just mean my dad actually said this. But it needs to have some credit to it that Emma Watson won't be able to carry this movie, but I disagree. I think she will do great. Yeah, I know.
People dare insult Emma Watson in front of you?
Yeah, how dare you? You know what I think they're building toward?
That's
I think
like a risk to take.
Maybe they're building towards a live-action Princess Avengers. Maybe we'll get Emma Watson and Cinderella, an actress and a fictional character, and several other princesses, and they'll get together and stop.
And they'll fight some zombies, right?
Yeah. Didn't you watch Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies recently?
I was gonna, but then I got kicked out of the room by the girls.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, probably a good thing, you know? I don't know. It's
definitely a good thing. Almost certainly a good thing. There's a truck backing out outside this window.
Oh, no!
Now, speaking of the
zombies?
Avengers... No, well... Speaking of zombies who are bad guys, there
you go.
The bad guys, the villains for The Flash, have been rumored to be confirmed.
Okay.
So in a way, this is completely useless news because nothing is official. So reportedly, they're going to be the Rogues, which are Mirror Master, Captain Cold, I believe maybe Captain Boomerang. Maybe I don't know about that.
Oh yes,
I thought he was
don't
in
we
the
want to see more Captain Boomerang?
I would love to see that. And then Reverse Flash would be unlikely, apparently.
Good.
Yeah, I know, right? Because they need to keep that to TV. Like,
At
least for now. TV did such a good job with it, I don't want to see it on the big screen, you know?
Yep, that'd be nice.
Flash might be good, but I don't have my hopes up because DC messes up everything. Although,
they really do.
said, I have been very pro-DC this week, I must say. Which I'll get to in Pick of the Week.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we
all
all
right,
just
so
pro DC?
What are we talking about today, Hitchcock?
You know what? I literally don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea what I'm gonna say today. No,
you know what? But that's, in a way, your greatest skill of all is just to hashtag wing it. You know?
There we go. No, we're talking summer/spring movies.
Spring movies. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. We're talking about movies today, okay? We're gonna rant the good, the bad, all of it. It's gonna happen.
Summer 2016 sucked.
It kind of did.
It sucked. Yeah, it kind of did. You know what?
Did.
We had you can go back. You can listen to our episode a year ago, and go and listen to us saying, "Wow, 2016 is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so great," you know, and. Yeah.
They're all just either crap or mediocre.
But you know what, Hitchcock? You know what? 2017 is going to be so good. It's going to be so great.
It is.
Yeah, well...
What are we getting? 2 more DC movies next year? Or I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. This summer isn't without its pros. We had some great movies this summer.
We did.
Just most of the movies were garbage. So, you know... We'll get to those. So, should we start out? Should we just do this in order? I suppose that's what we'll do.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
So, I have professionally taken the time to Google summer 2016 movies so that we don't miss a thing.
There you go.
That's just how skilled I am at this profession. But I guess the first movie of the summer, kind of the mark of a summer starting in the past few years, has always been a Marvel movie. So the first movie of this summer is basically Captain America: Civil War.
There you go.
Let's talk about it, Hitchcock. What did you think?
It's great. Probably one of the best movies this summer, you know?
I can't think of anything that's
somehow I've only
competition
seen it once.
to it. Yeah, I've seen it 4 times.
I've seen it once, but as far as I can remember, it was pretty darn good.
You've seen it once, and then you've scrolled through the Instagram leaked clips of it that are posted on Instagram every day. That's what you've done.
That's what I do. That's my life right there.
You know what? It used to be so hard to find leaked clips. Like, I would avoid them actively. Now they're just everywhere on Instagram. You can't avoid them anymore. So I just go, well, it's not the full movie, so I guess I'm not doing anything wrong.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. No, but Civil War was great. I loved it.
It was. It really was. Everything about it was great.
There are lots of cynical people who are like, it sucked. And I do see some of the flaws in it. There are elements of it where people are right. It doesn't have consequences. I wish Rhodey had died. By the way, spoilers for all these movies. Just to be clear. I wish Rhodey had died, but...
Yeah, that'd be nice.
At the same time, it's got a great social commentary on...
It does.
Both on two sides being right at the same time, neither one being better than the other. Yeah. It's got some great character writing, It balances the characters so perfectly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And develops each and every one of them.
Amazing.
Vision, Black Panther, all of them. Yeah. Spider-Man. Even though Spider-Man had no reason to be in the movie. But he's great.
He is.
And also, it's a really cool political thriller, and I like Zemo's plot. Like, even though it kind of relies on a couple coincidences, like, well, Iron Man needed to be there at the end. If you watch it, I watched the movie 4 times, it starts to make a lot more sense.
There you go.
And it's a well-crafted kind of thriller thing. So,
cool.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents on Civil War. I'm sure that I will have more 2 cents in about 30 seconds. But what do you have to say, Hitchcock?
Not a whole lot. Like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
So, but one of the major things I loved about this film was just the character development and all the characters,
Yeah.
Like, by the end, Black Panther was amazing. You really felt like what he was going for, why he was attacking Bucky, this and that. And it was just so good.
Well, great introduction to a character that didn't feel shoehorned in.
Exactly.
It wasn't no frickin' Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Him being there made total sense. It was incorporated into the plot, as in the Wakandans are the ones who have had their people killed by the Avengers, or by the actions of the Avengers. And his development was just great in the time that he got, and I'm so pumped for the movie. Spider-Man, on the other hand, I loved him so much, but at the same time, yes, as I said, it doesn't make sense for him to be in the movie. Like, he provides no like...
He's basically for the fans,
He is. There's no reason for Tony Stark to need him at all, And also, he's just been... Now, I've got conflicting opinions on this. So, what a lot of people say is that they go, I can't believe Tony Stark is, he's going, well, I had this kid, Charlie Spencer, who died in Sokovia, and I feel guilty about that. I'm going to go get another kid and put him in danger.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I feel like that's kind of poetic. Like, it feels like, maybe Tony Stark is trying to redeem himself in a way.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I don't know. But
it was a good setup for the character,
Yeah.
For Tom Holland, just to get him on the screen, get us used to him before he gets his own movie.
Yeah.
I thought it worked out perfectly fine.
Homecoming is my most anticipated Marvel movie, other than Doctor Strange coming November 26th, directed by Scott Derrickson, who we would love to have on the podcast if you're listening. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so that's Civil War. Should we rate these movies out of something?
Let's rate them out of 22.
22?
Yeah.
Should we rate them out of 22? Well, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Because as much as that makes no sense and it's going to be confusing to people, it provides me a slight level of humor right now, and I think it works. So let's just go for it. You know what? Out of 22, I give Captain America Civil War a 19.
Okay.
Or an 18. Yes.
I'll give it an 18.101.
Wow. I mean, we're getting mathematical here. I don't even know what that qualifies as. So, for those of you who know how to do math, just figure out what that relates to out of 10.
Just tweet us that and let me know, because I'd like to know what I just gave this movie.
For every movie that we rate out of 22, I want you to tweet us and tell me what that means out of 10, because I cannot do that math. I suck. All right, let's keep going. Next movie that came out in the summer of 2016 was X-Men Apocalypse.
Didn't it? It was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. You know what?
I bloody bet you did.
I did. Gosh. What a dork you are.
It's fine.
It was fine. I mean, yes, it had some major flaws in it. Apocalypse was But, there was moments I absolutely loved, characters I loved, and coming out of the film, I really was just like, okay, cool. That was okay. I'll buy that. I'll watch it again. You know.
I honestly was really annoyed by X-Men Apocalypse.
Good for you.
And I've said this many a time, but I feel like the X-Men films were very sophisticated up to this point, especially First Class and Days of Future Past. First Class is a great historical picture, you know, and you've got the Cuban Missile Crisis going on and stuff. It's got some really cool stuff. Yeah. And Days of Future Past is a freaking masterpiece. I think it's the best superhero movie, or in the top three. Yeah. But and the thing about those X-Men films was that they weren't afraid to go like small scale moments, you know, like they weren't afraid to just do small character moments instead of giant world ending events, you know, like the end of First Class isn't some huge collateral damage thing. It's just they're on a beach and they have some character stuff and then some missiles are launched. Like, it's not huge. And I love that. This movie, they were like, we have to have everything have an IMAX moment where everything is like big and scary and epic and so cool. Like, the ads for the movie were like, the coolest superhero movie of the summer. That's was one of the quotes of the TV spots. So instead of having a moment where maybe, you know, Magneto goes to Auschwitz and has a subtle small character moment where he goes, man, I really can't believe that I was in a Nazi camp and this sucks. Yeah. Which is what would have happened in the other movies. He tears apart Auschwitz with his mind and goes, everything they built will fall from the ashes of the world. Blah, blah, blah. You know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I can totally see the flaws in this film. You know, it definitely did not know, like, who, like, it didn't really have a main character, you know?
Not at all.
Jumping around with all the characters, and Apocalypse's motivation was very vague. Like, what? That's a bit confusing. But, you know...
Every other X-Men villain hasn't been a villain, you know? like, Bolivar Trask and all the others were just guys who were trying to do what they thought was right. Yeah, Apocalypse is like, I want to kill everyone. I want to destroy the world.
Well, I think the one disclaimer for me in this film is it's Apocalypse. He's like this in the comics, you know? And they kind of had to do him eventually. You know, I mean, what more could you really do with Apocalypse than huge, gigantic world ending? You know, because he's that powerful of a mutant, you know? So I just kind of just go, okay, whatever.
I'm pumped for that new Mutants movie, though, because I like this new cast. I think it'll be cool to see them do, like, a fun romp adventure. That'll be good. But,
will be.
Yeah, overall, I was very disappointed by X-Men Apocalypse. I love Days of Future Past so much. Have I said that enough, Hitchcock? Have I said it enough? So what would you rate X-Men Apocalypse out of 22? Everyone be sure to tweet at me what 22 is out of 10.
I'll give it a 12.31. I think that's pretty solid. For me.
Great. Whatever that means, I'm down for it. You know what? I give it I guess I have to give it lower than you did, whatever that means. So you know what? I'm going to go... I'm trying to do the math in my head. I can't do it. Okay. 8.975.
8. Wow.
Out of 22. Wow, that was bad. Dude. No, I can't rate it that poorly. You know what? I'm just going to give it the same rating as you. Fine. Okay. I'll do that.
Dude, 12.31.
Yeah.
You know, basically, 11 is half, right? So just go one above half. You know, it's all good.
You know what? I'll give it 11 then. That's
okay,
what I'll do.
Fine. There you go.
So, those of you who know how to do math, be sure to tweet at me what that is out of 10. All right. The next movie that came out in the summer, on Friday, June 3rd, my mother's birthday. My blessed mother's birthday.
There you go.
Which you saw and I did not see, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heroes in a Half Shell. Turtle Power.
I really hated this movie.
That's great.
It was... I guess the few people that I've talked to that love this movie, that I'm like, I've told them I hate it. I'm just like, it was silly, it was dumb, the villain was crap, this and that, and they're like, well, you clearly haven't read the comics, okay? You clearly don't know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say the few people I've talked to who like this movie were idiots. That's what I thought you were going for, but no.
No, but I guess I really can't say much because I know absolutely nothing about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, that's one of these...
completely in the dark, and so it's like, as a film, I think it's terrible, you know? I mean, it really, as just a film,
and we'll get to this once we get to freaking Suicide Squad, but there's this mentality now where if the fans like a movie, but it's crap, then the actors go, well, we made it for the fans and we had fun and it was for the fans, it was just for the fans. Mm-hmm. And you go, that's not an excuse to make a bad movie. There are plenty of movies that can be appreciated by the fans, whoever they are, that are still good films. Like, you can't just use that as an excuse. We made it for the fans.
Exactly.
And if the fans like it, then we did our job. That's what Margot Robbie says.
So,
it's the fans.
Oh, gosh. So, it was pretty bad. I actually convinced you not to go see it, which I did not like it at all.
I may go see it in a dollar movie. I may go do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's that.
Yeah.
Speaking of silly and dumb, we've got Now You See Me Too.
I got to rate. I got to rate it.
Okay, rate it out of
22.
Out of 22.
Let's see. 6.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's like, nope, I can't do the math. Out of 10. Someone tweet at me, out of 10, what is 6.5? Let's do that.
There you go.
All right, next up. Now, we saw this when you were here.
We did. We were together. We were in the same theater.
We were in the same
spot.
Sitting
next to each other.
Wow.
That was a really weird theater. I did not like the theater.
It was a weird theater? What about it was weird?
It was like so far back from the screen.
I
was like, what?
True.
It was like all long and stretched out, and I'm like, I wanted to be up front, just swimming in the action.
That's NCG for you. That's freaking NCG. No, I like NCG. They're a good theater. I'm probably going to go later today and see Kubo and the Two Strings, which I've heard is really great.
You do that.
But so Now You See Me Too. What did you think of Now You See Me Too? Look, okay, disclaimer, I love Now You...
Oh gosh. It's
like, I ask you your opinion. There's silence for half a second, and I go, yeah. That's my mentality.
Attacking me.
Now You See Me, the first one, is great. I love it. It's dumb, but it's great, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
This is the worst. I hated this movie so much.
Goodness.
Okay, yeah.
I knew you didn't like it. I didn't think you didn't like it that much. Gosh.
Yeah.
You hated it, huh?
I did. I share the Now You See Me Too Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles passion that you have.
There you go. We made it for the fans. Just for the fans. All those magician fans.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, we made it for the fans of oddly specific magician heist movies. That's the fan base we were going for.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it was very confusing.
Yeah. The plot was hard to follow. The magic stuff got so absurd. I just remember the scene where they what do they do? They have that card that they're trying to steal from the place, and they keep swiping it back and forth, right?
There you go. Yeah.
That was a good scene, but it was so absurd. And that was so much of the movie was completely unbelievable,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very meh. And at the end, when they somehow get the plane in a box and then get the box in the middle of the lake.
Yeah.
And then unveil the box. And I was I was just thinking about this the other day, actually. I'm like, you know what? That made zero sense to me. What? How much? And then their budget for this stuff. Are the magicians secretly billionaires? How are they getting the money to do? I don't know.
Oh, and remember Woody Harrelson's awful brother? Remember that?
Oh yeah, the twin that just created
twin
chaos.
Brother. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
And that was odd.
He was the Jar Jar of the movie. And then, okay, the only thing I really liked about this movie was Lizzie Kaplan, the Cloverfield
New
girl.
Horseman.
Yeah, she's good. She's real good. She's funny. She knows this entire movie is freaking dumb.
Yeah.
And she lives with that. The other people take this movie pretty seriously, and I like what?
Yeah, there you go.
So that's my opinion on Now You See Me Too. I rate it 4 out of 22.
Ooh, that's harsh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 5.71.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what that qualifies as out of 10, but someone can tweet it at me. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
The next week, there were 2 movies that I saw and that you saw released.
Oh. Here we go.
So Central Intelligence came out, which I just saw a week ago, actually.
Okay.
I waited a while on that. And Finding Dory, which we also saw together when you were here in Atlanta.
That was nice. We were up sitting in the action on that one.
Oh, yes.
Great.
So Drew's screen action-o-meter is flooded on that one.
Yeah,
so
it was great. It was
really
it's
good. You know what? What did you think of Finding Dory?
Meh.
Yeah, it's pretty meh.
That's meh.
I mean, we did an episode on it. We did a live episode on it.
Yeah, live.
Blockbusted live. And by live, we mean live action, not actually live.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, like we said before, it just relies so much on coincidences in the end.
So many coincidences, so many absurd things. And, like, looking back, there is nothing original about it in any way, form, or fashion. Pixar has kind of lost their originality factor.
Yeah.
Except with Inside Out, which is good. Although that said, Inside Out, the concept is original in that movie, but I feel like the story is very unoriginal. You know?
There you go. Sure.
So, that's my thoughts on Pixar's Finding Dory.
Not near as good as Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I think people, they the critics were like, remember before this movie came out, it was getting amazing reviews. Everyone was absolutely loving it, you know?
Yeah.
And then we went to see it, and it was just like, Well, I really didn't see I guess it is, like, for the kids, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the nostalgia factor's there. The kids, of course, love it.
It's for the kids. It's for the fans, you know?
We made it for the kids,
We made it for the kids,
man.
man.
Kids are happy, we're happy.
It's not like there are other kids' movies that can be appreciated by adults and are actually good pieces of cinema. Because it's for the kids.
Oh, gosh.
So Central... Oh, wait, we gotta rate this.
Oh, yeah.
I give it a 10 out of 22.
I'll go... 11. Yeah. Solid 11. We're going 11.
So I saw Central Intelligence recently, and it's all right. You got
some CGI The Rock.
Yeah.
Fat belly.
That was pretty funny. You know what? The MPAA is not doing their job anymore, because this film could have been R, honestly.
Yeah?
I mean, it didn't have the kind of sexual stuff that most R-rated movies would have, but the language in this movie was, like, off the charts. Like, I don't even think they limit language anymore. And that language in itself doesn't bother me. But I go, if you're going to swear this much, just rated R. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's not that I'm, like, offended, but it's just, you know, I wish it had just been one thing, you know?
Sure.
But that said, it's got some funny moments. The Rock is pretty good. Kevin Hart does his whole Kevin Hart thing where he just freaks out about everything and goes, oh my God, oh, I'm not, what? Huh? Are you a racist or something? What? Yeah, that's my Kevin Hart freak out
Hart impression.
What? But he's still pretty funny. The plot makes absolutely no sense at all. Like, nothing makes sense. And maybe I should see it again, but I'm not going to spend my time on that. It's got a nice little anti-bullying message at the end.
Cool.
It's got some fun little celebrity cameos, for one thing.
Donald Trump.
Should I spoil the cameos?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm just going to spoil them.
Donald Trump.
No, it's not. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Jason Bateman has a cameo.
Okay.
And then Melissa McCarthy has a cameo. So, that's about it.
Cool.
I rate it a solid 12 out of 22. Whatever that means, someone let me know on Twitter.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm scrolling through here. The Shallows. That was the week after that, which I saw.
Yeah. I want to see this movie bad.
It's fine, I guess.
Good. Yeah.
It's better than most of the things I saw this summer.
There you go.
I will say that. But that's not saying a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie. It's one of those movies where you're like, yeah, it was good. There's like nothing else to say about it.
Sure.
I love these movies where someone's like trapped on something or locked in something for the entirety of the film, like 10 Cloverfield Lane. And while this isn't like a masterpiece like 10 Cloverfield Lane is, it's very much a I probably shouldn't call 10 Cloverfield Lane a masterpiece, but it's a very good film. It is it's still solid, I guess. It's got fair acting from Blake Lively, some nice concepts. Gets a little bit ridiculous in the third act as to how she defeats the shark, but it's pretty good. So that's cool all I have to say about The Shallows, and I rate it a 14 out of 22. Whatever that means, someone tell me on Twitter. Now, the week after that, we got the BFG, which neither of us saw, which I need to see when it comes to the dollar movie. Oh, you know what? It's in the dollar movie now. I need to go see it. I need to go see it.
You should go see that.
And then The Legend of Tarzan, which you did see.
I did see that.
What did you think of The Legend of Tarzan?
It was disappointing, to be honest.
Yes.
You know, I was really looking forward to this film. I loved Tarzan as a kid.
For those who don't know, Drew has a weird obsession with Tarzan that I do not understand because I've never liked Tarzan. But continue.
Tarzan. Dude, yes. I used to love Tarzan as a kid. You'd be climbing the trees, imagining yourself as Tarzan. You know, it's great.
Yeah.
But no, this was a very disappointing film for me. You know, I was looking forward to it. I was hoping to see some good Tarzan monkey interactions and this and that. And it was just like, it really didn't, at the end of it, it didn't feel like a Tarzan movie. You know? I mean, I didn't feel like, you know what, when you think of Tarzan, you think of, oh, he's swinging from the trees with the gorillas, right? And he's like best pals with the gorillas. And in this, it was like, there was maybe 5-10 minutes with gorillas, you know? And it was really just like, well, I wanted to see more of that. I mean, there were moments where, like, Tarzan is basically, for those who don't know, this is after the events of, like, the Disney Tarzan, of what you know. This is when he's already grown up, he's already met Jane, he's back in the real world, right? And so he comes back to the jungle for some reason I can't remember. And then basically there's a dude that's gonna tear down some stuff, and he's gonna stop him with the. I mean, and there's moments where it's like,
is it a good movie if it's not a good Tarzan movie? You know.
Yeah, I would just say it's fine. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing amazing, nothing terrible. I mean, it was just fine.
You know what, Hitchcock? Some might say they made it for the fans, and that's all that matters.
There you go. But,
because the fans of oddly specific ape culture, shirtless swinging man films are very dedicated and hardcore fans. That's
the problem is I'm a fan of Tarzan, and I was disappointed.
So some might say they didn't make this for the fans. They made it for the non-fans. Maybe I'll love it then, because I don't like Tarzan.
No, but yeah, it was disappointing. I wish it was done better, but it was fine. Yeah, I'll see it again.
What do you rate it out of 22?
I'll give it an 11. Yeah.
So a solid 50-50 ratio. Hey, I did math there. Whoa.
Yeah, even though I just told you that 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. So 3 weeks later, after that, we got Ghostbusters, which I unfortunately spent my freaking money on. Yes.
Ghostbusters.
You know, you can go back to the beginning of this year and listen to my reactions to the Ghostbusters announcements and everything.
No, let me quote it. I'm so excited for this film. There is nothing like this right now. I mean, it's just going to be amazing. I'm so excited to see. We have nothing like this. There is no ghosts in this world, and we just like, it's new, it's original. I'm going to love it. It's going to be great.
That is exactly what I said. Yeah, well, you know what? It is true. There is nothing like the Ghostbusters in that there are no other films that involve like ghosts hunting and like this. It's a cool concept, you know?
Yeah, but definitely.
You know what made Ghostbusters not good? Was that even though it was titled Ghostbusters, it was just a generic comedy made by Paul Feig. That's what made it not good. Like, there's nothing unique about this movie in any way. It's just like a boring comedy with Melissa McCarthy. And it's one of these things where, like, they just put a camera on the actors and they expected them to say funny things. And they're not funny things at all. like, at all.
Well, you know what? Some might say they made this for the fans, okay? Not
oh,
for you,
they did not.
You hateful film critic, dude.
Yeah, dude. Remember when the Ghostbusters trailer dropped? Remember what the fans thought of that? Remember the dislike to like ratio?
I do. That was fantastic.
That film was made for the fans.
I've never enjoyed seeing a movie burn that much.
Yeah.
Until now.
Well, and you know what? Paul Feig, the director, even said in several interviews, "Screw the fans." He even said lots of negative things about them, and pretty much they did everything in their power to alienate the fans and do something dumb. And then at the same time, and this isn't a huge deal, but like every male character in the entire movie is an idiot. Is an idiot or an evil mastermind. So, I don't know what that says, but it says something. It definitely says something. I'm doing the whole Donald Trump thing where, like, I go, I don't know what that's... He'll say something like, I think something's going on with Obama, but we'll have to let everyone else figure out what it is. I'm not going to explicitly say. He goes like, something's going on with Obama, I'm telling you. And they go, what's going on? And he goes, people are going to have to figure that out for themselves. You know what?
People in this world need to be smart. I'm going to let them figure out what I said.
I'm going to let them figure it out for themselves.
Because, honestly, I need to know what I just said.
Because, honestly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Donald Trump ran over. The thing that came after that was the only other good...
No. What do you give it out of 22?
Oh, yes.
5.
I mean, I can't say it was worse than Now You See Me Too.
Oh, wow.
So, you know what? I would say it is... What did I give Now You See Me Too?
I don't know.
Someone go back, tweet at me. I would give it this movie like a 4 out of 22. That's what I would say.
Gosh,
so there you go.
I know you didn't give Suicide. I know you did give Now You See Me 2 a 3.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's how that went.
All right. Well, he's gonna give it a 4, people.
The next movie that came after, what did we just talk about? Ghostbusters 2016, which will be easily forgotten, was Star Trek Beyond, which
one of the better movies of this summer.
Yes.
If not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I love this movie.
It's really good. Like,
I like it a lot.
I like this movie a lot too because it's just a nice little movie. Like, it's not huge and world-ending.
Yeah.
It's not like giant collateral damage. It's just a fun romp. Kind of reminds me of the Avengers in a way. And it's got some great characters with good development and some great interaction scenes. Like the stuff with Spock and Bones is really good. As well as, effects-wise, beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I have to say about Star Trek Beyond.
That's basically all I gotta say, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just so fun. I went to see this movie with some friends, and I just had such a great time.
Yeah.
You know? Just so fun. If the one thing I don't like about this movie is the villain.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
It's just... I know some people thought, like, during the end, they really did get his motivation, and even by the end, I was still like, what? I'm still confused why all of a sudden you turned into a black dude and you're doing this. You know, it was still very
I get it now, but like
I need to go see it again. So.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that's just good. Like you don't need to read into it too much.
Definitely.
And while the villain did kind of suck, it's fine, I guess, because the characters were well supported. The action was fun. The plot is very just basic, you know, but as I said, just fun romp, whatever. I liked it a lot, and it's a nice just like episodic thing. Like you could just throw this in as an episode of Star Trek, and it's just a fun episode. You know, it's not something huge and epic. It doesn't have any everything they've built will fall moment. It doesn't have any of that, so that's good.
If this movie did anything for us,
the less everything they built will fall moments, the better. The better a movie is.
There you go. If this movie did anything for us, it made both me and you go by the previous 2 Star Treks.
Oh, yes. That's true. Yeah, I hadn't seen the others. I saw this first, then I saw Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, and then I went back and saw this again. And I really liked all three of them. Star Trek Into Darkness isn't that great, but Star Trek and Star Trek Beyond are very good. I like them a lot. So,
cool stuff.
Out of 22, I give this a solid 17.
Oh, dang, I was just about 17. You know what? 17.89.
Yes, that's exactly what I just said.
No,
all right.
You said 17.
Yeah, I know. This is the most meandering episode we've ever had in our entire experience, which is saying a lot because there have been some insanely meandering episodes.
Yeah.
All right, Jason Bourne, Friday, July 29th. I saw Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne was all right. Here's what I have to say about Jason Bourne. I'll tell you. I will tell you. I will give you my Jason Bourne 2 cents. Jason Bourne is not an original film at all. It's just the same old stuff as everything else. But, as I've said many other times on Blockbusted, on this podcast, that I'm sure listeners have been listening to for years now, because they're so dedicated to us, because we're just so good at our jobs. Jason Bourne, with movies that aren't very original, I don't think movies have to be original to be good. We need original movies. We need them, obviously, all over the place. 10 Cloverfield Lane, very original movie. But, like something like Star Trek or Star Wars The Force Awakens. Not original at all, but still a very well-made, good film. And if you hadn't seen the other Star Wars movies and you saw Star Wars, I keep almost saying Star Trek. This has messed me up. This has ruined my brain.
Oh no!
If you hadn't seen all the Star Wars movies and you saw Star Wars: The Force Awakens, you would be like, "This is amazing." You know.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Jason Bourne, I think. If you haven't seen the other Bourne movies, you'll be like, "This is such a good movie." But if you have, you'll go, "This is just the same old stuff."
Yeah.
And it's really, there's nothing like unique about it. There's nothing stand out about it, except Alicia Vikander is very good.
Cool.
But it's a nice, fun. It's fair. It's good. You know. That's what I have to say about Jason Bourne.
Awesome stuff. I'm still surprised I haven't seen this because I love Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's out of 22, I will give it a solid 15.
Oh, nice.
Don't compare these ratings to other ratings because I'm sure ones that I've rated in the past 5 minutes don't line up with this. So,
oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm sure I just called a movie great and gave it a 14, but you know what? That's what I have to say.
You gave it 15.
Yeah. All right. So after this, we have 9 Lives, which
fantastic movie. I went to see this and I was just blown away. I mean, I cried at the end of it.
Hitchcock, this joke isn't working. Let's move on. Suicide Squad was the worst movie of 2016. No, I'm sorry. Now You See Me Too was the worst movie of 2016. Suicide Squad was a pretty bad movie, though.
Were we already at Suicide Squad?
Yep,
We are.
Yeah. So, Hitchcock, you, the last episode that you weren't on,
no.
we talked about Suicide Squad. I talked with IBN Aiden from IBN Studios. We talked about it. We didn't go too much in depth, but it was a fun episode.
Cool.
But now we have the chance to just go all over the place with this film because you have finally seen it. You saw it on your birthday, didn't you?
I did.
What a freaking fake out birthday present, right? That's like opening a gift and finding a pile of poop instead of a cake. This is the worst metaphor of all time. That's what I have to say.
Oh my gosh.
What did you think of Suicide Squad, Hitchcock?
I can't even begin to say. It was insane. I absolutely hated it. Ugh. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, everything about it, I just hated. I hated the villain. I hated the plot. It was so dumb. It was non-original. I mean, characters were pathetic. It was this and that. Oh my gosh.
I released a video called "Why I Hated Suicide Squad,"
I'm just gonna grunt this whole review.
It's ticked a lot of people off.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was a little harsh, but I was very emotional after seeing the movie because I hated it so freaking much.
Yeah.
And you know what I did last week? I bought a Suicide Squad shirt. I spent money on it just so that I could paint "sucks" on the shirt, which I am still planning on doing.
That's terrible.
Yeah. But
absolutely terrible.
No, so I don't want to hate on this film. I want to give it a fair chance. But you know what? this film deserves to be hated on, and
it's really bad.
Okay. Look, let me tell you what I liked about this film. And I'll spend about 30 seconds doing that.
Okay.
Harley Quinn, good. I expected to freaking hate Harley Quinn. Like, I don't like the idea of, like, a dysfunctional, like, hero who everyone loves.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's disgusting kind of sometimes. Like, I wouldn't want to date Harley Quinn.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Ew. But I liked Harley Quinn, to her credit, a lot more than I thought I would.
Definitely, sure.
And she was pretty good. Margot Robbie was good in the role. She gave a little bit more.
Pathetic, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's some moments where I was just like, what the heck? Why are you here? And
well, she gave a little bit more emotion than I thought she would, which was good. But, that said, there's no reason for Harley Quinn to be there because she's not skilled in any way except that she's insane. But we'll get to that. Other thing I liked, Deadshot. Will Smith just plays Will Smith. Like, he's not he's not unique in any way. He's just Will Smith. But he's good because you know what? Will Smith is good. So, that's that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Deadshot was one of the better aspects of this movie. But one thing I hated was Deadshot, he really was just a marksman that shot stuff, you know? I mean, Deadshot, he needs to have more to him. I mean, he's got this huge, fancy suit. He's got this little eye thing for his eye. And, like, he did one trick shot in the whole movie, you know? Which I think Deadshot is known for his trick shots, you know? And he was just, like, point and shoot the whole time. And I was just like, well, when you do that, it's really, it doesn't separate him from all the other marksmen out there in cinema, you know? Yeah. And it was just like, man, come on, dude. I mean, they needed to spice him up some, and they really didn't. And I was just like, it was bad.
As far as the other characters, there were characters that I liked of what we got of them. Boomerang, I thought, was good in what we saw. El Diablo was surprisingly pretty good in what we saw. But overall, none of the characters were developed enough for me to say that they were good characters. Even
then, I hated El Diablo and Boomerang. Just absolutely. I can't feel for any of these characters.
I thought El Diablo was fair because, you know, he killed his family. He killed his family.
No, he's like, oh, here's my little rant on Diablo. Well, all right, so he's got this very emotional backstory, right? He killed his family. He blew up, and it was like, okay, and now he doesn't want to use his powers anymore, but he gets forced to be pushed along with the Suicide Squad. The whole entire movie, he's hiding in the shadows. You don't see him do his little fire thingy at all until Will Smith punches him or whatever.
Or whatever.
And he's just in the shadows doing like this and that. And then at the very end, when they're like the whole team's lives are at stake, he steps up and he's like, "This is my family.
This is my family.
You ain't gonna kill them." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I've been hiding in the shadows this whole time, not helping him out, letting him be killed by these faceless eyeball rock thingies. But now that I think about it, this is my family now. Okay, so I'm not gonna let you kill him. I'm gonna turn into this big demon dude,
which we never knew he could do." And I guess that was supposed to be a moment where the audience goes, "Wow, whoa, who knew he could do that?" But it was just out of nowhere and random, is what it was.
I want to die.
Yeah. So we're not through yet, Diablo. Hitchcock.
I hated him.
I thought he was all right. You know what? No, he wasn't all right. He was better than the other crappy characters in the movie, which made him seem all right, but in fact, he was an awful character.
True, compared to all the other characters. Compared to all the other characters in this movie, he was probably one of the better ones. But still,
yeah, that's not saying anything. See, this is the thing: is like this movie had so many opportunities.
It did
to bring this team together. You know.
Yep.
If I were making this movie, I would have thought about the fact that, Deadshot and Boomerang, they're both expert people who can kill other people with specific weapons, you know?
Yeah.
Might have been a cool dynamic between them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought about, I wonder what the dynamic between Katana and Harley Quinn is. Although, I guess she did make, like, one joke about her. Whoa, she had one joke.
What are you wearing? Is that the smell of death?
I would have thought about the fact that, what was another one I thought of? Like, El Diablo and Killer Croc both felt like monsters, turned away by everyone, If this movie were Guardians of the Galaxy or The Avengers, and I know that's Marvel bias, but Marvel has made good movies, then it would have thought about those dynamics, Because if you think back to The Avengers, you go, Thor and Hulk have a dynamic. They've got a whole buddy thing there. Thor and Cap have I guess they've kind of got some moments together. Tony and Cap have a dynamic.
Iron Man and Cap, yeah.
Tony and Hulk have a dynamic. Hawkeye and Iron Man have a dynamic. Hawkeye and Black Widow have a dynamic. Black Widow and Captain America have a dynamic. So every character in the Avengers interacts with the other characters and has at least a few good moments with them to unite this team like they feel like they're together,
Yeah.
By the end of Suicide Squad, you do not feel like this is a team at all, Like, just because you have the characters walk in a line and play some upbeat music as they walk, that doesn't mean they're a team. It means that you played some upbeat music as they walked without any writing that made them a team.
Anyway, there's our rant on Suicide Squad.
Oh no, we're not finished yet, Hitchcock. We're not finished.
No, I think. Oh my gosh, I think we know to stop there.
Plot. Okay, so if I said to you, a team assembled by an African American government agent goes into a city full of monsters and has to stop a blue beam of light in the sky conjured by a god to destroy the world, what would you think I was talking about?
Definitely Suicide Squad.
Yeah, definitely. It's totally an original idea for that.
It is.
And the action in this movie, right? Like, can you think of one action scene in this film that was anything?
Yeah.
What?
Deadshot standing on the police car shooting guys.
That was pretty good.
See what I remember of these action scenes, I just remember them because I have a major problem with them. Like Deadshot, he's unloading on all these dudes, and it's like he doesn't miss. Oh yeah, sure, maybe he's missing some. I mean, he's fully machine gun at all this crowd of people, and so it's like, yeah, that was. I mean, I guess it looked cool a little, but really, when it comes down to it, it was kind of dumb. And then the other action sequence is when Harley's in the elevator.
Which was totally like just added in and useless,
And the only reason I remember that is how pathetic it was that she was somehow able to defeat all these guys with a little pistol and a bat.
With a pistol and a bat. That leads me to my other thing, which is... So, there's... This is a series of things that I have. So, there's a giant world-ending destruction in the city, right?
Yep.
There's a blue beam of light shooting up in the sky. There's people getting turned into monsters, quite literally. Horrifying. The city has been evacuated. It's being destroyed.
Wait. About the monsters. Enchantress has to make out with the dudes to turn them into monsters, right?
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
And so it was like, I mean, there was a ton of them. There were thousands of these little monster dudes. And like,
yeah,
it took her like,
true. So did she just have like an assembly line of kissing, right?
It took her like 10 seconds to kiss that one dude that we saw, right? So was it like, did she like spend a whole day making out with dudes to turning them into... Turn them into faceless enemies? Because it was like...
Again, disposable army. And I know that, like, the Avengers movies have disposable armies, but I don't let those get off either. Although the first Avengers, it worked. It worked in that. Avengers Age of Ultron did not work in that.
Nope.
And everything else that's had a disposable army since then has been unnecessary. But, so, as I was saying, there's a giant... world-ending thing happening in the city, right? Huge destruction, people being turned into monsters, there's a blue beam of light shooting up in the sky, a goddess is doing some weird hippie dancing stuff.
Oh, gosh.
And you're Amanda Waller, and you have, like, you've got files, as we see in the after credits scene.
You've got Batman on the other end of the call.
Right, okay, yes. So you're Amanda Waller, you have files on The Flash, on Aquaman, and you personally know Bruce Wayne, who for some reason she knows is Batman. And who do you call? You call an insane psychopath with a baseball bat, a guy who doesn't want to use his fire powers.
A dude who climbs some walls.
A dude who's good at climbing stuff. A guy with some guns. A guy who can throw boomerangs. And a big crocodile man. Why? Why? Like, if you're going to make a movie about these characters, it's not that I have a problem with those characters, right? Like, those are...
Oh, I
do.
It's
fine. It's fine that that's who those characters are, you know?
No, it's not fine.
No, well, like, it's fine that that's who those characters are, but they're not suited for this, you know? Like, those characters are not suited to stop world-ending things. It would have been so much cooler to send a team like that into, like, some sort of warehouse where there's, like, drug dealers or something, you know?
Yep.
Like, something more realistic. Something more
Something that's
grounded.
Actually their level.
Something that's their level that they feel equipped for. This was ridiculous. Why do you know the Justice League, basically. You could assemble them and put bombs in their necks. But you don't. And you send in someone with a baseball bat. What is your problem, Amanda Waller? What is your problem? I'm falling apart at the seams here. Okay? I'm dead.
Can we move on?
Is there anything else we should say about this?
Oh, there's a ton I could have said about this. I just don't want to.
Yeah?
I just want to remove it from my thought. I absolutely hated this movie.
You'd think in a movie about bad guys that there would be a better bad guy.
But yeah. Don't even... Oh, my gosh.
All right. What do you rate this out of 22?
1.90.
I rate it a 2 out of 22. So someone do the math and send us the reactions on Twitter.
I'm sorry if you really like this movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. You know what?
Because
it was made for the fans, right?
If you liked it, that's perfectly fine. I'm so glad you liked it. I just hated it. Okay. If I can understand why you liked it and why you enjoyed it, then you can somehow understand why I absolutely hated it.
It's not even
Come on, can we just work
It's
together,
not even
please?
that we hated it. It's that we think it's a bad movie.
Oh, no, I hated it.
Yeah, but also you think it's a bad movie.
Oh, it's both. It's all of it. And we haven't even talked about the Joker. Let's move on.
Oh, should we talk about the Joker real quick?
No, we shouldn't.
What did you think of Jared Leto's Joker?
He wasn't the Joker.
Yeah, exactly. He was just a mob boss with a weird laugh who they called the Joker.
The Joker, he doesn't... I'm not going to even say. Okay, let's just move on, please.
This is my favorite episode of all time because this is the episode where we've truly lost our minds.
What do we have next? We got Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon, which you saw. What did you think of Pete's Dragon?
Compared to Suicide Squad, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
No. It was okay. You know,
yeah.
I really don't have much to say about it. I mean, it was a bit... I did feel like it was just... I mean, it was really slow to get into it. And it was very just... fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm completely dead. No, I mean, I don't know. It was... I really don't have much to say about it. I mean, there were few moments that I really didn't understand. It was just like, okay, what are you doing there? Why is he here? You know, this and that. It was slow. It was just... I mean, overall, it was a good movie, I guess. But
you go, it was slow. I didn't understand it. It sucked. But overall, it was a good movie, I guess.
Yeah, in my opinion, I really didn't like it. But as filmmaking go, it was fine, you know?
Yeah.
My mom loved it. Absolutely loved it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. So it's a movie made for moms to love. That's what you can say about it. What do you rate it out of 22? Our infamous rating system.
A 21. No, just kidding. I'll give it a solid 11.53.
All right. Yeah. All right.
That was good.
I think that's it. I think that's all the movies that we saw this summer. I will undoubtedly see some of the other movies that came out this summer once they're a $1 movie or once they're on DVD. But we mainly aimed for the big blockbusters and stuff. And we saw most of them all, mostly.
All right, finally, what would you rate the summer out of 22?
What would I rate the summer?
Yeah.
Well, based on the movies I saw this summer, because apparently there were some good ones I missed out on. That Pop Star movie apparently was good, blah, blah, blah. Based on the movies I saw this summer, I would rate it a 11 out of 22, I guess.
Okay, cool.
I guess. I mean,
I'd give it a 10.5, I think.
But, like, literally that entire thing is just compensated by Civil War and Star Trek Beyond. If those movies weren't this summer, it would have been, like, the worst summer of...
It really would have.
Ever. Like, ugh. There are some movies I still need to see. War Dogs came out this weekend. That looks great. Yeah. Kubo and the Two Strings, as I mentioned, has great reviews, and I want to see that as well. Chance did love it, so I think
we got to see that.
I'm going to see if I can go see it sometime soonish.
Cool stuff.
But yeah, so overall, it was a mediocre summer with some great highlights. And that's what I have to say about summer 2016.
Good stuff.
Actually, I know another thing about Suicide Squad. No, I'm just
kidding. Oh, no!
Yeah. All right, so should we do Pick of the Week?
Sure. I gotta think of one.
Yeah.
Let me brainstorm.
All right, so look, for those accusing me of being a DC hater, I've got the Veggie Tales. We've got a show for you. I've got the show for you. I started watching. So I did a video on Phineas and Ferb this weekend, this week, and I said in my video, this is my favorite cartoon of all time. Then I got a lot of comments saying that I should watch Batman the Animated Series, or had I watched Batman the Animated Series from the 90s, because that was great. And I'd remembered watching Batman the Animated Series a lot, or not a lot, but a little bit as a kid. Just a little bit, because I didn't even have cable as a kid. And obviously you see kind of clips from it all over the place, because it's kind of famous, but I hadn't really watched much of it in its entirety. So I went back and I watched, I think, 8 episodes of Batman the Animated Series yesterday. And boy, is it good. You know, it's one of those things where I looked up online, top 10 episodes of Batman the Animated Series, and I watched them.
Yeah.
It's free on Amazon Prime. So I just watched them, and great. So good. So well animated, so well acted. Like, the guy who plays Batman, what's his name? I don't know. Kevin Conroy. That's it. Kevin Conroy. He's so good at, like, seamlessly transitioning between Bruce Wayne and Batman. And he's great. And then the villains are so well developed as well. But so this show really captures the essence of Batman in a way that not many of the movies ever have. It captures his vengeful kind of darkness, but it also captures his heroism and everything. And it's so freaking good. On that note, I went back and I watched the Superman animated series from, I think, 2000 or something like that. It's all right. It's not as good as the Batman one, but it's pretty good. And I watched, I'm just watching all the DC cartoons.
Yeah, you are.
The old Max Fleischer, which is to say the 40s serialized Superman cartoons. Yeah. And while they're obviously very simplistic, they are great. Cool. And the animation is beautiful. Cool. So that's all I get to say. For those who call me a DC hater, I freaking love Batman and Superman, and I just hate their movie. That's all. Yeah.
There you go.
So there you go. All right. What's your pick of the week?
You know what? I don't got nothing.
Wow. That's how bad this summer has been.
I literally did not see anything this week. I saw Twilight, I guess.
You saw Stranger Things.
That
Oh,
was
wait, we
last
talked
week.
about that last
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's all blurring together.
Yeah. I saw Twilight, that was,
Yeah?
fine. No, I really don't have anything, no. Batman.
What?
I don't
Okay.
know. I got
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Sorry to say. I'm just
Grasping
completely
at straws.
drained.
So, what are we going to do next week if we can get our energy back after Suicide Squad sucked it all out of us? What are we going to do next week?
Who knows? We'll wing it.
That is what we'll do, probably. All right, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So where can people find us on social media, Hitchcock?
On the socials, someday you're gonna get that right.
Yes.
You can find me at nerd_stream7 on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes. You can find me at Blockbusted Pod and at Houston Productions 1 on Instagram. And I use my Twitter a lot, Instagram a little bit less so, but I have started advertising my Twitter a lot in videos because it's kind of a thing now. So that's,
Cool stuff.
I don't know. Also, Blockbusted is sponsored by Audible. If you want to go to audibletrial.com/blockbusted, you can get a free audiobook of your choice today. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
If you'd like to contact us, just tweet at us, or you can email blockbustedpodcast@yahoo.com. That's about it. All right. Say your catchphrase, Hitchcock.
Hashtag wing it. We're winging it for days.
I think appropriate here is dang it DC as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rare occasion where
dang
that is
it,
appropriate.
DC.
And well, as I said, I love
Dang
Batman the
it,
Animated
DC.
Series. Dang it, DC. Freaking DC. All right, what even is this, guys? Bye.